The first Native Americans arrived in America roughly 22,000 years ago, when the Ice Age had frozen over various regions of Asia, forcing many to migrate from Asia to North America. From there, the people developed and adapted to the lands and their surroundings. In time, the Native Americans formed societal structures in which they were organized into tribes or nations, each with unique cultures and traditions. Within these tribes, clans defined roles and responsibilities. Leadership varied with roles for chiefs, councils, or elders.
As they developed their lands and advanced their societies, their numbers grew by the millions, many of them scattered into different regions of early America. Such regions included California, the Northwest Coast, the Southwest Coast, and the Eastern Woodlands. California was widely regarded as not one land but many lands by its many native inhabitants. The Kashayapomo, the Maidu, and the Modoc were amongst the many tribes that resided in these lands. With the land so vast, 10 different linguistic families branched off to 78 distinct languages from the tribes all around the region. To survive, they fished, hunted, or gathered using slingshots, nets, or other equipment. Their lands consisted of a vast coastline with a rainforest to the northwest and a scorching desert to the south. In Northwest America lived tribes like the Coast Salish, the Nukta, and the Haida. The people of this region had many unique cultural practices such as the use of totem poles and decorated masks. These items represented various things such as wealth, status, and family history. Elaborate ceremonies were held where they gave out their possessions in a display of wealth and status. They lived off of the sea, collecting shellfish or other creatures along the beach, as well as hunting for fish, whales, otters, seals, and other marine life.
On the southwest coast, life was quite rough for the tribes there. People of the region were split between two environments, one being along the river and one by the cliffside. The people farmed and grew beans, melons, and squash, using nearby rivers and water sources to irrigate their farmlands.
The eastern woodlands greatly contrasted the other regions, with its thick hardwood forests stretching countless miles. The people survived through a mix of hunting, gathering, and agriculture. Due to many trees in the area, many of the inhabitants were skilled woodworkers. Native Americans had many different beliefs, but most thought the natural world was full of spirits. They worship an all-knowing and all-powerful creator and believe their ancestors stayed alive to guide them, and that everything, even non-living things like mountains and lakes, had a voice. To them, their land was sacred.
They genuinely valued their land and considered it their source of life. They have traded many things in their time, but never land. One Blackfoot chief said, "We cannot sell the lives of men and animals, therefore we cannot sell this land." The Native Americans used land specifically for important events such as gatherings, rituals, and farmings. Trade was also a big factor that brought Native Americans into contact with other settlements that are known for specific products or skills. The Nukta of the Northwest Coast had mastered the skills of whaling, the Ojibwa of the Upper Great Lakes region collected wild rice, and the Towas of the Southwest made pottery. These items were traded within the local and long-distance markets. Trade was one of the first bridges between New England settlers and Native Americans.
After thousands of years of development and little to no contact with the outside world, the first New English settlers, the Europeans, arrived. While Native Americans and English settlers in the New England areas first made an effort to build a mutually beneficial relationship based on trade and a common commitment to spirituality. This connection quickly deteriorated due to illness and other issues, which ultimately resulted in the First Indian War. The relationship between Native Americans and Europeans ranged from initial cooperation and trade escalating conflicts and violent disputes over land. European diseases also had devastating effects on native populations. Additionally, many of the natives were forcibly removed from their homes, leading to a loss of cultural identity and only increasing their suffering from their current predicament. The fight between the natives and the Europeans lasted for more than 250 years, with millions upon millions of Native Americans falling victim to the various conflicts. In the end, the Europeans had decimated the natives, taking away their lives, their land, and their culture.